Hello viewers, welcome to my channel IITJ Olympiads and AP Physics with Ambarish. And today I am super excited to present to you my original challenge on simple harmonic motion. And I'll present to you the problem. You can try it out and then I'll get into my analysis. Okay, so here's the problem. A massless scalene triangular platform, sides A, B and C has point mass m at its centroid. So this is a massless triangular platform and there's a small mass. Just think of it as a point mass. Just for aesthetics I made it like a small cylinder, but think of it as a literal point mass which is welded on the platform. Okay, so scalene triangle platform has a point mass m at the centroid. Okay, it is suspended from ceiling by three light springs of constant k, k and 2k respectively. So this spring, you can call it spring A. It has spring constant k. This one also has got a spring constant k, and this spring C has got a spring constant 2k. Okay, slightly bluish one, and the other two are gray ones are having spring constant k. And the sides of the scalene triangle are given as this is A and this is B and this is C. Okay. Okay, in equilibrium the platform is perfectly horizontal, so somehow their natural lengths might be such that the platform is horizontal in equilibrium. Okay, now from this configuration a small vertical impulse is imparted to small m. This is the small m which is welded on this platform, and I have given a small impulse such that how I have given impulse such that it acquires a small vertical velocity u. So this acquired a small, so platform along with this mass has acquired a small vertical velocity u. So what do we have to calculate? So first thing we have to calculate is the time period of oscillation, and second thing we have to calculate is the amplitude of the oscillation of m. So u is given. So let me reiterate what is given. So sides of the triangle are given A, B and C. Spring constants are given K, K and 2K. Mass is given m. Which is the mass? Okay, mass is given as m, and what else is given? The speed u is given, and you have to find the time period and the amplitude of oscillation. So with this given data, if you want you can try out this problem and I'll get into my analysis right away. Okay, so let's get into the analysis of this problem. So our solution has following steps. What are the steps? First thing, it might come to you as a surprise, but I'm going to prove it. What is that? Proving that tensions in all the springs must be same at every step. So the tension in this spring and tension in this spring and tension in this spring will be same, not only in the equilibrium position but also in the future positions. They will be equal to each other. Of course they will change with the position, but all the three tensions will be equal at all points of time. Okay, then I'll also be finding the descent of m in terms of suitable variable x related to the spring extension. For example, if I assume that this extends by x, then because the tensions in these three will be same, as I'll prove later on, so if this extends by x, then this tension becomes 2kx. So this tension is also 2kx, this tension is also 2kx, so this must be going down by 2x because spring constant is k, and this tension must be also 2kx because this will be going down by x. I mean, not absolute tension but the increase in tension I am talking about. Of course initial tensions, if they are equal, then and increase in tensions should also be equal, because if I am going to prove that final tensions are same. So don't worry, I'll be proving this. I've not yet proved it. I'm just now right now stating without proof, so we'll see how to prove that. Okay, so I'll find the descent of m in terms of this variable x, where x I can assume as this, and then how many x this moves down because of that. Okay, and then I'll try to form the simple harmonic motion differential equation. Okay, so now coming to step 1, that is the tensions in all the three springs must be same at every step. Why is that? See, the platform is massless and so it cannot possess any angular momentum. So platform cannot have any angular momentum. Okay, net torque of spring tensions about any axis passing through the centroid must be 0. Why? Because even though block is kept over here, but the torque of mg will be 0 about the centroid. Okay, so and then consider this is the free body diagram of the platform. I have not shown mg is going into the page, and there are three tensions which are coming out of the page. Okay, so I've shown them by a circle and a dot inside. So think of these tensions as coming outside the page. Okay, so let's call this as tension TA, this tension is TB, and this tension is TC. So let TA, TB and TC be the tensions of the springs at A, B and C, and now AD is the median line. Okay, see, I've drawn median through this vertex A. Actually I showed the A as the top point of the spring, but in the plane also you can think of A as the projection. This point is the projection of spring A. So this is supposed to be the median of the triangle in this plane AD. And then if you see, if AD is the median, then I have also dropped perpendiculars from point B on AD and perpendicular from point C on AD. So CD is perpendicular to the median and also OB is perpendicular to the median. Now you can easily see that these two triangles, this triangle and this triangle, they are congruent to each other. Why? Because see, this angle and this angle are vertically opposite angles, so they must be equal. This angle is 90 degree, this angle is 90 degree, so they are equal. And now EC and BE, they are equal because this is supposed to be the median line. Okay, so these two triangles are congruent and I'll be using that. So if they're congruent, that means what? The perpendicular distance OB must be equal to perpendicular distance DC on this median. Okay, so that's what I've written. Now okay, so AD is the median line on BC and BO and CD are perpendiculars on this line. Okay, and now triangle OBE, as I said, OBE is congruent to triangle DCE. Therefore OB is equal to CD. Now balancing the torques about line AD. So this is the line AD and I am taking the torques of the tension TB and TC about this line. So torque is what? Force into perpendicular distance about the from the axis, and they are equal. So I can say that tension at B into OB, this tension into OB must be equal to tension at C into CD. Okay, and CD and OB are anyway equal. That means what? These two tensions TB and TC must be equal. So isn't that beautiful that irrespective of geometry, even though it's a scalene triangle, but still you see the tensions are equal even though it's a scalene triangle. Okay, similarly we can draw another median, maybe median through this and then drop perpendicular. So by symmetry of the problem, we can say if TB is equal to TC, then TA must also be equal to TB. So we can say that all the three tensions are equal. So that proves our first step. Okay, that all the three tensions must be same at every point of time. Okay, because this torque argument will hold at every point of time, not just at the equilibrium position, because angular momentum is not going to be there because mass is given a vertical velocity, small vertical velocity. Okay, now let us say now we have given it some impulse and because of this m is going down. Okay, so let us say at some instant of time, let's say x is further elongation in the spring of constant 2k. So if this elongates by x, then the tension in this becomes 2kx, right? And if this tension is 2kx, this tension is also 2kx, and this, I mean, increases by I should say that tension in this increases by 2kx. So this tension must also increase by 2kx and this tension must also increase by 2kx. Okay, because all the three tensions have to be equal and initial tensions were anyway equal. Okay, so let x be the further elongation in the spring of constant 2k at some instant. Then for same tension all the three springs, the further elongation in the other two springs must be 2x each. Why? Because this tension will be increase will be k into whatever is the elongation, and k into 2x is equal to 2k into x. So therefore this elongates by 2x and this also elongates by 2x each. Okay, so elongation in the other two springs must be 2x each. Thus net upward force on this system configuration, what will be that? So from here you are getting k into 2x, from here you are getting k into 2x, and here from here you are getting 2kx. Okay, so total force becomes what? So total force becomes 2kx plus 2kx plus 2kx, that is 6kx. Okay, that is the net external vertical force. See, you might be wondering why I am calling this as net force. What about the mg and the original spring? See, in the mean position the mg was exactly balanced by the three elongation forces. That is, this tension must also have been mg by 3, this tension must also have been mg by 3, and this also mg by 3. So these forces were balanced. So net force was 0 in the mean position. So therefore whatever is the change in force, that should be the new net force, right? Because if initial force is 0, then change in force is the net force, right? So thus net upward force on this system must be simply 6kx, right? I hope you got why I did not consider the original extension, because they were anyway balanced by the mg. Okay, so this is the restoring force 6kx that acts on the system. Okay, since the net force in the mean position was 0, change in force is same as the net force. Now since the coordinate of the centroid is the mean coordinate of the three vertices, so this is a well known fact in coordinate geometry, that whenever you have you know the vertices of a triangle and you want to find the coordinates of the centroid, you just take the average of the three coordinates. It can be proved very easily using vector or even coordinate geometry. So right now you can take it as a fact that the coordinate of the centroid is nothing but the average of the 3 coordinates. So you just add the 3 coordinates and divide it by 3, you get the coordinates of the centroid. Okay, so now this goes down by x, this goes down by 2x, and this goes down by 2x. So by how much distance does the centroid move down? So we can say now, so the coordinate of the centroid is the mean of the coordinate of the 3 vertices. Its descent must also be the mean descent of the 3 vertices. So small m comes down by 2x plus x whole divided by 3, that is 5x by 3. So this comes down by, this mass comes down by 5x by 3 because it's kept right over the centroid. Okay, so I hope you got the argument so far. So the force is 6kx and its descent is 5x by 3. Now external force must be equal to the mass times acceleration. So let me say 5x by 3 is y. So I can say that F external is equal to m times d square y by dt square. And external force is minus 6kx. I'm suppose taking downward direction as positive, then upward force must be taken as negative. Therefore this minus 6kx as I showed you earlier. And m times d square by dt square of 5x by 3. Why? Because this y I showed you, this is 5x by 3. Okay, and now you just rearrange this equation and you can compare this to the standard SHM differential equation. So what do you get? M times d square x by dt square, and there will be 5 by 3 coming over here, and this 3 will go there and 5 will come down. So you just rearrange this equation, it becomes, so 6 3s are 18 and 18 divided by 5, and this m also comes down. So d square x by dt square is minus 18 by 18k by 5 m times x. Okay, and now you readily know the answer. It's a simple step. So this must be the omega square. So omega square is under root of 18k by 5m. So what is the time period? So time period is simply 2 pi under root 5m by 18k. So this was the first part of our question. So we have found the time period. Now what about the amplitude? See, the initial configuration was the mean position, right? And mean position is the position of maximum velocity. And in SHM, what is the maximum velocity? Maximum velocity is always equal to a times omega, right? Maximum velocity, that is the velocity at the mean position, is always equal to a times omega, where a is the amplitude and omega is the angular frequency, right? So we can straight away use it for finding the velocity at the for finding the amplitude. See, the velocity at the mean position is u is equal to u max is equal to a omega. So a is u upon omega. So u is given and omega we just now found, that's the reciprocal of this 2 pi, just once again, so 1 by omega. So 1 by omega will just become 5m by 18 only, because this is the time period, and omega, if I want to write down, omega would be under root of 18k by 5, right? 18k by 5m. So you take the reciprocal of this, then that becomes this one, u into under root of 5m by 18k. So that's my answer for the amplitude. So I hope you enjoyed this challenge. This challenge is very much prone to silly mistakes. At the first sight it looks like a very easy problem, and it's very easy to lose track of the physics concepts involved here, and through an ad hoc analysis you might get a very wrong answer. Sometimes students just would do assume that all the 3 springs are connected in parallel and assume effective spring constant to be simply 4k, and that obviously will give you the wrong answer. So if you enjoyed this challenge, please do give it a thumbs up, my video, and please share this with as many friends as possible. Those friends who are preparing for IIT JEE or Olympiads, please do share it with them through WhatsApp groups or Telegram groups or Discords or whatever academic media you use. Please do share my video with your friends who might benefit from this. And most importantly, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. My channel is not monetized. It's the love that I receive from all of you in form of subscriptions or views and likes that keeps me going on. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Please keep coming back to my channel for more awesome stuff, and God bless you all. Thank you.